Hello. To start, I would like to share an overview of the lesson plan I performed in the beginning of this month. It was a second grade reading lesson of only one day. Making connections text to self, which was the content objective, and for the language objective, it was to tell the partner what the book reminded them of. The lesson sequence went really smooth. To start, I did a pre-teaching vocabulary activity that took around 5 minutes using the four-corner quadrant. Then I started building some background knowledge just using the cover of the book called Night of the Veggie Monster, which on page 6 of the article Unlocking Research on English Learners, they said it's really important to start building that background knowledge to help students connect new knowledge. And so we did by asking them questions on what did they see, what they were going to expect in the story, making predictions. They were really engaged on the book, and so we started reading the book after our predictions and talking a little bit. After we read the story, we did some guided practice focusing on our text to self connections, asking them questions to help them out, like what does the story remind you of? Can you relate to the characters in the story? Does anything in the story remind you of anything in your own life? Then I gave them some time for them to share and talk and to find evidence in the story. When I felt like they were ready to do some independence practice, then I set them off with their partners to read books from their book bags and find connections. Also, they needed to do what we did during guided practice to find the evidence and the connection. In advance, I partner students up by regrouping them by language skills. I color code the language skills that they had, red for Spanish, blue for English, and I balanced them up. This student is well balanced, and so I paired him up with one that was not. So this student is more skilled in English. Then I went to listen our discussion and observe and listen to them some more on their explanation over their connections, giving them feedback, telling them what they were doing good and what they needed to work on some more. They needed to find the evidence as well. Having the rubric beside me helped me check if they were mastering the skill or not. Later on, I tell them to write their connection in a piece of paper and to put the evidence there. Then I extended my lesson, giving them a connection activity. At the end, we closed by sharing what we learned, and that was my lesson. So after reflecting on my lesson, I found out that the lesson content was clear and it did relate to both objectives, the content and the language objective. On the article Unlocking Research on English Learners, pages 17 and 18, it talked about organizational skills, and that research says that students need oral activities, and I feel like I was really strong at that. However, my lesson needed more strategies, more English language learner strategies, like for example, some extra support, which was posted on page 25 on the article How Content Teachers Interact with English Language Learners. Also, Another strategy that I should add for next time will be allow more scaffolding, with maybe using sentence frames to give students practice over academic language. And so if I use those strategies, I feel like I will be more successful. Thank you.